to my third video in the series. It's on AI robots. I thought that this particular topic needed its very own video because it was so important. So here we are. Let's get started. I'm going to start off this video by talking about an organization that I spoke of in my last video called Hanson Robotics. Now, Hanson Robotics is led by some truly creepy looking individuals, and they want to start something called the Singularity, which is basically a web that's going to connect all AI around the world so that it can learn and grow and develop itself. Their first robot, Sophia, has been declared a citizen of Saudi Arabia, and they are developing more technology and different personalities now and branching out, but Sophia is still a very big part of Hanson Robotics, and she's even on their staff page. When you first look at the staff of Hanson Robotics, you see a bunch of beta male dorks and some mad scientists and some really weird chicks. Their entire corporation is truly sick. It's like they've never seen a sci-fi movie before. Or maybe they have, and they just think that, it's not going to happen. Or maybe they think that it will happen, and they actually want to bring about destruction. I mean, they even ignore their own robots, saying that they want to take over the world. So what's wrong with a bunch of AI wanting to connect over a web and communicate with each other and develop on its own? I wonder. And what's wrong with AI being seen as people? Well, I mean, it's a slap in God's face if you believe in that kind of stuff. And besides, when you start humanizing robots as people, you take away the value of human life. You make human life not as important. And then when you get into the robots being seen as more important than human beings, then you look into companies that create sex robots. Those are the truly creepiest companies overall. To be honest, I understand why men are creating sex robots, though. I mean, it's getting increasingly hard to find a good wife or a good girlfriend. With the uprising of all these neo-feminists and what they call strong, independent women, which are really just neo-feminists that are trying to be not as, over the top. You find them looking for beta males, and not the dorky kind that would be working on robotics, but the kind that would be going to a political rally with them or something like that, things that these men are probably not interested in. And heaven forbid you be manly at all. I mean, women today, they don't understand that, men need to be manly. They think that men need to be pansies, pretty much. And I mean, to be completely honest, even the beta males want traditional women. They don't want these new age feminist crap. So, from the men who are too manly to the beta males who can't get a date because the women aren't their type, all the way to the people who just want a cheap thrill. You've got sex bots fulfilling your every desire. Unfortunately, this shatters the idea of the traditional family, and if you want to adopt or something, because robots can't have babies, so if you want to adopt, think of how messed up that kid is going to be if you end up adopting a child with a robot wife. Obviously, the answer to getting rid of sex bots is that women, real women, should go back to their more appealing days when they weren't so, high-strung. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Another company making waves is a company called Boston Dynamics. They make pets and military robots. A weird combination, if you ask me. Let's talk a little bit about the latter. Military robots. Let's talk about how sick and wrong that is. So on one hand, you think, oh, this is great. No humans need to die in these wars on our side anymore. But let's face it, the other side is probably not going to have robots. At least the sides that we're fighting with right now. So it's pretty unfair. I have always been disgusted by war. There's times that I've seen the necessity of it, mostly back when they had like sorry, frog in my throat. Mostly when they had like muskets and, swords and suits of armor, they fought on horseback, stuff like that. I understood the necessity of war in olden times because that was, there was more skill involved in it, there was more tact. You actually needed to be good at what you were doing. It wasn't just throw a nuke and be done with it. But the bombs today that we have and the advanced weaponry is pretty much overkill. So really adding robots to the mix is just not fair. And say that the other country does have robots too, well, then it just becomes stupid. It's like, why don't you just sit around and bang Transformers toys together? Because it's just as dumb. You're just fighting with something else and seeing whose machine can be better than somebody else's. And there's really, there's a level of technological skill involved in that, but overall there's really not as much skill or planning or anything like that involved in it. It's not war. It's pretty much just playing with toys. So then you've got the other side of it, the fun pet robots. To be completely honest, I think that's just a smokescreen because they're trying to introduce these fun pet robots that'll keep the world captivated, and I see right through it. Don't see it as, innocent fun, because it's not. These dogs and cats and other pet robots that they're creating, they're just a cover. Another thing that I want to discuss is back on topic of the war robots. The idea that we're giving robots guns is going to be ridiculous, or equipping them with any kind of armor or not armor, weaponry. I think that that's pretty ridiculous because I think that that's just, think about it. You have a group that wants to create the singularity where all the AI robots can communicate with one another and develop and grow, and then you have people putting guns and weaponry either on robots or in robots' hands. And when you get to that point, you see where this could all become terribly wrong and go all the way towards one of those sci-fi apocalyptic movies where aliens try to take over the world. The worst thing about it is that you've been warned. You've seen the movies, you've seen the TV shows. If you're literate enough, you've even read the books. Everybody knows what this is going to come to if these things are allowed to be created and advanced, but yet you still ignore it and you still continue on with what you're doing. It's pretty ridiculous. And then you have hundreds of people that sit in these auditoriums and actually watch this stuff and support it. Like, they're a part of it. They want to be a part of it. They want to see history in the making. But it's a very, very dark era of history that we are making with these AI robots. So please, stop ignoring it. Stop being ignorant of it. Stop thinking that it's all innocent fun and actually do something about it. Contact these people and tell them that you want something done about it. You don't want these AI robots. Stop using the AI robots for stuff if you are already using like a sex bot or whatever like that. Stop encouraging these people to do stuff like that. And remember, like and subscribe for more content.